Hello, I'm Chylli from Channel Chylli, also known as Chai, and we are back with more depersonalization. Last time we left off, we were going over our previously explored locations to look for more information. We can repair our weird pin cylinder at Pomegranate Avenue, was it? So that will be fun. But for now, we just have to sit through an extremely long loading screen. And there we go, now we can go back to our backtracking here. Can we get inside the hotel yet? You ponder for a moment before presenting the warrant you obtained from the police station. I have all the necessary paperwork. Oh, I get it now. That's why you came in without any asshole. Please, go ahead. Even in a luxury hotel, trash cans are meant for refuse. Inside, you notice some exquisite food wrappers, delicate empty wine bottles for perfume, and discarded liquor boxes. Surprisingly, you come across an unopened liquor box with an intact bottle of liquor inside. Geez, thanks for throwing away an entire box of liquor. A lecturing voice comes from nearby. As you all know, the hotel is on lockdown. But we still need a patrol daily. Thieves might try to break in and steal. There was a theft not long ago. A thief knocked out a colleague and stole his clothes. We must search everywhere. Clear? Yeah. Got it. Following the brief meeting, the attendants started their patrol work. The attendant appears perplexed as you enter through the main entrance. Then you reveal your identity as an investigator. So you're an investigator working for the cops? Fine, we won't get in your way. Just watch your step and don't mess things up. If anything goes missing during your investigation, we'll hold you accountable. The attendant warns you sternly. Sure, I understand. By the way, can you speed up a bit? How long until we can catch the culprit? We can't stay locked in this hotel forever. You realize that he's venting his frustrations due to the lockdown. I can't do much about it. If you're really that curious, why don't you go ask Officer Lutz instead? Frustrated, he resigns, realizing that he can't influence the police's actions. Descend straight from the top of the Welkin to the depths of the abyss. Does this mean riding the elevator from the highest floor to the lowest? Anyway, let's give it a shot. First, we're going to investigate the guest room before we do any of that. Upon entering the room, you notice an attendant fiddling with something in his hands with full attention. The attendant mutters to himself before extracting a pinhole camera from a hole at the wall. He focuses intently on adjusting the camera, oblivious to your presence. What are you doing here? Startled by your sudden presence, he immediately gives you a look that carries an aura of danger. Everything's blocked off. How did you slip in? Are you a thief? You're pretty unlucky to run into me. He then shouts out, "A thief!" In response, several attendants rush in from the corridor, encircling you. Time to beat the shit out of a bunch of waiters here. And he should be super dead here. You knock down all the attendants and take out your warrant, clarifying your situation. However, by the time the attendants disperse, the strange attendant has already fled. Who is that man anyway? Caught him trying to set up a hidden camera in the room. That's creepy. God damn, my luck is horrible. Fortunately, no one entered the elevator during the journey. You completed the trip undisturbed. After a moment of dizziness, you feel as though you've been transported to another realm, reaching the basement level of the hotel. However, upon stepping out of the elevator, you're surprised to find yourself still in the lobby. For some reason, all the attendants in the hall are wearing strange masks. What exactly is this place? At that moment, the attendant in front of you turns toward you. Welcome to our banquet hall, esteemed guests. Greetings, esteemed guest. How can we assist you today? For a small price, we can make your desires a reality. What services do you offer? Well, like eliminate your foes, bring you wealth and fame, grant you eternal life, or provide a follower with undying loyalty. The attendant mentions these unusual offers in a casual manner. And what about the price? You just need to offer something valuable in return. Like a family member, an heir, your body, your cherished memories. Amidst her composed voice, you sense a subtle smile beneath the mask. The contrast between her tone and expression leaves you with a sense of unease. However, we regret to inform you that the first 3 options were taken already. Now we can only offer a faithful follower. Would you like to accept this offer? Let me think about it. Please, take your time. The attendant awaits your decision. Sure, I'll accept your offer. Great. Here's a gift for you. And now it's time for you to pay the price. After a moment of dizziness, you find yourself back in the hotel lobby. You can't recall the words of the master attendant. The recent events become hazy, but the mask in your hand serves as tangible evidence that it was not your imagination. You had a vague feeling that you've lost something, but also gained something in return. No, wait, I must get back and find out what happened. Despite your repeated attempts, you can't find access to that room again. Now this is starting to feel like a scam. Wow, this actually feels like a horrible trait to have. Wow, this is bad. Yeah, I can't see myself ever using that trait. Okay, let's see where else we can go now. Double check the morgue down here. See if we can access the research wing. Are you visiting Officer Bruno? His determination is remarkable. Even with his severe injuries, he bounced back surprisingly fast. The moment he woke up, he was all set to resume his work. Luckily, his wife managed to talk some sense into him and convince him to rest. I just gave him a sedative. He's in a deep sleep now. Don't worry, I'll be keeping a close watch on him. Okay, doesn't look like there's anything else we could do here anyway. Let's double check the church to check if the priest guy came back here. I forgot his name. Father Constantine. About the murder at Reindeer Pub, I've got a few questions for you. Please do not hesitate to pose any questions. What do you think Bennett's like? In my estimation, Ben is driven by his objectives. He navigates his path with exceptional clarity. And he understands the sacrifices it demands. Yet as he shoulders more burdens, he veers farther from his authentic self, descending into a realm of torment. Such is the course he has chosen. May the Lord have mercy on him. You think Marcel is the culprit for the murder in Reindeer Pub? I must apologize, as divine omnipotence has not been granted to me. I suspect that Marcel lacks the fortitude for murder, at least for the time being. So you believe Marcel is innocent? And indeed, I am not the sole individual who places faith in him. Officer Bruno, too, holds steadfast belief in Marcel. Bruno? Followers from the police station have informed me that Bruno posted bail for Marcel. However, he chose to keep this act concealed from Marcel. Perhaps to prevent any sense of indebtedness from arising. Or there may be other motives at play. So in your opinion, Bruno believes Marcel is innocent, and he is using him as bait for the real culprit? I understand Bruno's decision. Such actions can be justified if they lead to the apprehension of the true culprit. After pondering for a moment, you find it difficult to dispute Constantine's belief. However, if Marcel were to encounter misfortune as a result, would Bruno be prepared to accept the consequence of his decision? I'm curious about your backstory. You don't seem like a local, am I right? Is this perturbment to the cave? Well, my past is an open book. As you rightly noted, I am not a native of this town. I previously contributed articles to a journal which caught the attention of Mayor Padrick. He extended an invitation to me to engage in missionary work here. Could you tell me more about that article? It delves into the nature of trials. Individuals interpret suffering in diverse ways. Some perceive it as a challenge to refine their character, while others view it as retribution, succumbing to despair. Personally is a place steeped in anguish. That is why I was invited here. I don't quite get it. No worries, I often deliver sermons here. Should you be interested, you are more than welcome to attend. With Constantine's approval, you wait for the sermon to start. Through the Lord's grace, trials are transformed into blessings. With her guidance, even lost souls can find their way back. It was by her design that I stayed in France to converse with the wise. Now I am here to disseminate her gospel truths. Constantine appears calm and the faithful are deeply devoted. The brief sermon lasts for 10 minutes. Even after its conclusion, some devout believers are hesitant to leave. So, Constantine has been to France before. Could those medical records be connected to him? Okay, you got keys and a book from the pulpit there. We'll keep investigating around and see if we can find anything. Doesn't seem like there's anything I can do at the church right now. We're going to double check the town hall. We're going to double check the town hall and the Crescent Street to see if anything changed there either. Need a ring to interact there, and we need another item to interact at the church in that area over there. There should not be anything around here either. Alright, let's head over to the flower shop then. As you step on a new North Street, your gaze is immediately drawn to a quaint flower shop. The vibrant blooms stand out vibrantly against the wintry backdrop. But what truly captivates you is the sight of a young woman carefully arranging the flowers. She appears to be in her 20s, her blonde hair radiating warmth like the morning sun, and her porcelain skin as delicate and pure as freshly fallen snow. Her eyes serene and deep as a summery sky seem to tell silent stories with every blink. The graceful way she handles each bloom feels almost otherworldly, invoking images from classical paintings of nature and goddesses. Timeless beauty brought to life. You can't help but wonder if the artists who immortalized such visions were inspired by a scene as breathtaking as the one before you now. This is a newly opened cat cafe, a place not only to enjoy aromatic coffee, but also to unwind and spend a pleasant time with the cats. You glance at the sign by the door. The entry fee is 200 funds. The delicious coffee and desserts left you spirits. Spending time with the adorable cats brings a sense of calm. The public phone appears to be out of service. At that moment, you notice something stuck in the slot below. You uncover a crumpled card with a message. Headhunting, you're exactly who we need. Call 00-11451. After contemplating a while, you decide to call the number on the card. The call connects after a brief wait. Oh hey, wasn't expecting anyone to actually dial this number. How can I help? I found this card at the public phone on New North Street. You explain how you came across the card. Ah, I see. That's how we used to coordinate things. It was a method from years ago. Back then, some of us wanted to evade call surveillance, so they came up with that. But gradually, we moved away from that. I didn't even realize there were still some cards left. I'll send someone to collect them now. Hang tight for a bit. You wait for some time, then several men in black approach you, exchanging money for the card. You collect the payments as the gangsters depart. A disheveled vagrant is searching for dry newspapers amidst the snow. He crumples them and tucks them into his tattered coat to shield himself from the cold. Noticing your presence, he shifts his focus toward you. Finally, you did see the yellow sign. His sudden inquiry, accompanied by the foul odor from his mouth, makes you frown. It's the yellow sign, you know. While speaking, he etches a vortex symbol on his chest. You saw it, didn't you? You must have seen the sign. Right? You look around cautiously, then at the vagrant in front of you. No, I didn't see anything. Upon hearing your response, however, the vagrant nods in satisfaction. Is that so? But fret not, it will appear soon, very soon. With those words, he departs while maintaining his symbolic gestures. This is a mail center. I know within a particularly partially open mailbox catches your eye. Dear stranger, I'm currently in a tough spot and could really use some funds to get through this rough patch. If you're feeling generous, please stop 50 funds in the mailbox and mock it up. You drop 50 funds inside the mailbox and lock it. I don't have the key to the room. Don't miss out on the winter flower offer. Dear Nancy, could you please help me pick out a bouquet that captures how I'm feeling right now? The man retrieves money from an envelope in his pocket, offering them to the girl. Initially hesitant, the girl eventually accepts the envelope, carefully tucking it away. How you're feeling right now, I see. Turning your attention to the balloons behind her, she meticulously selects several clusters of snow-white flowers. These are daffodils, a beautiful sight in winter. Daffodils represent purity and grace. Just like friendship, simple and pure. The man accepts the flowers, a flicker of emotion appears in his eyes. At this moment, another man approaches. Dear Nancy, please accept my heartfelt emotions too. Nancy graciously accepts the envelope with a smile, then proceeds to choose a bouquet of flowers for him as well. Well, gentlemen, I'm heading back to prepare lunch. Thank you for your support. Leaving those words, Nancy returns to the flower shop, leaving the two customers holding the flowers. Look, Nancy actually selected daffodils for me. Maybe she sees me as a friend now. Persistence pays off. Yeah, remember how she wouldn't even accept her envelopes at first? Now she's taking them. She's definitely warming up to me. Oh, Nancy, my dearest Nancy. Upon entering the flower shop, you notice the young lady placing letters into a nearby drawer. It seems she hasn't read any of the letters contained within. going to rob her flower shop before we actually talk to her. The drawers are filled with letters of varied colors and styles. They form a sizable stack, almost overflowing the drawer. Among them, a distinct letter stands out, featuring a minimalist design marked solely by a cell phone number and a print. Is that a bear paw print? She's quite the popular figure around here. I should say hello to the owner before diving into the investigation. Excuse me. Hello there, what can I help you with? Need some flowers for someone special? Or maybe for decorating your place for the new year? No, actually. Oh, you're not here for flowers? It might be a bit out of the blue, but I'm already in a relationship. Nancy regards you with embarrassment, evidently mistaking you for one of her admirers outside. Oh, you've got the wrong idea. I'm helping out a friend with his investigation. Were you the one who sent me a message earlier? Investigation? Would you mind telling me more about it? Nancy's demeanor shifts to caution as she gazes at you, her tone subtly defensive. Before you can clarify, a voice calls out from upstairs. Oh, this is my guest, Nancy. Please, bring them upstairs. I see. Nancy gestures toward the staircase leading to the second floor. You thank her and walk up the steps. Investigation? What could he be investigating? You enter the second floor of the flower shop. The second floor appears dark and cluttered, a stark contrast to the neatness below. Despite the dimness, you quickly discern the figure of a man with dark eyes and disheveled hair. He is Simon, one of the suspects identified by Bruno. I've been waiting for you. He speaks in an almost fragile tone. Before you start firing your questions, let me lay it out for you. First, swear you won't tell anyone about what I'm about to spill. Second, promise you've got my back no matter what goes down. Third, everything I tell you is the truth. You've got to trust me. I can give you my word, but I need to know what's going on. First things first, I'm not the murderer. You've got to believe me on that one. Honestly, what happened to Bruno caught me off guard. I thought you and Bruno were working for them. Who exactly are them? Let me explain from the start. I'm a hacker. And as you might expect, it's a risky job, so to keep myself safe, I set up a surveillance system on Kristen Day's network. Through it, I uncovered some shady secrets. And when I say them, I mean a crew led by Patrick, something like, At the mention of Patrick, Simon pauses. He seems to be deliberating over his words. Something like an organization, yeah. It's gaining power under Patrick's wing. I'm afraid they've stepped into every aspect of this town. I can't trust anyone here, except for Nancy. Things are spiraling out of control here. I need support, but I was clueless who to reach out to. Bruno's incident made me realize you're someone I can really rely on. Why do you think so? What happened to Bruno is just too strange to ignore. At present, I'm certain it's tied to Patrick. Patrick might not have pulled the trigger himself, but my guess is Bruno must have discovered something he shouldn't have. Something he shouldn't have. But as far as I know, he was digging into two cases. First, the murder case that happened a year ago, and second, the murder case in Reindeer Pub. Do you think there's a connection to those two cases? Let's say you're an outsider. There are things you haven't known yet. You might be in the clear for now, but that doesn't mean you'll stay that way. Patrick might not want to make too much noise for now. However, I bet I'll catch up to you sooner or later. What exactly were these shady secrets you mentioned? So when I was setting up the surveillance network, I used to hack into the government servers looking for outsider information to keep me safe. Eventually, I decided to hack into Patrick's computer. After cracking the firewall and sifting through all the hidden files, I found this picture in an encrypted folder. Simon shows you a picture. It's a new type of text I've never seen before, depicting something terrible beyond my understanding. The content of the notes, Patrick is definitely tied up in some sort of dark, twisted religion. Throughout his account, Simon's body trembles uncontrollably, his terror-stricken face betrays profound fear. I realized that Patrick had gone crazy. He's been quietly running some sinister cult at Cursin Day. What happened next? Gradually composing himself, Simon continues his story. Just as I was digging deeper into his schemes, I noticed myself being tailed. Typically, this wouldn't have rattled me. I knew I wasn't the only hacker in Cursin Day. I had crossed paths before with a less skilled guy who's never outsmarted me. But then out of the blue, another cracking signal popped up. That threw me off because I had no clue there was a third hacker in this town. The new player was relentless and was cornering me. Just when things looked dire for some reason, the newcomer mistook my pursuer for the target, giving me a window to slip away. So I went offline and cut the network. All I managed to snag as that chaos was this image. After sharing his story, Simon appears notably calmed. When did this happen? It's been around a year now. So this was before the murder at Paradier Hotel. These pieces seem to fit together somehow. Later on, I tried to hack into the government network again, but it didn't go smoothly. I almost blew my cover the last few times I attempted it. So please, keep my true identity under wraps. Recently, both the hackers I mentioned earlier have gone silent. The one I clashed with seems to be keeping a low profile. And the newcomer seems to have vanished all of a sudden. But this is unnerving because they might be planning something big. Now you want the truth and I want security. I need someone to watch my back, so I propose we team up to make things smoother. I need some time to think about it. About your collaboration with Simon, we're going to cooperate here. I trust you and I'm ready to help. Just one thing. Share all the necessary information with me, no holding back. Simon nods. Actually, I've got a plan in the works. The wail of sirens echoes outside as a police car speeds by. Hold on, we need to be extra cautious now. There have been several disappearances in the area recently, and the police are sniffing around everywhere. What could that mean for us? You're not a local here. Even though you're a friend of Bruno, if the police catch you out at night, things could get messy. Here's the deal. The house next to the flower shop is vacant. You can stay there tonight and wait until morning. We'll figure out our next step plan. You accept Simon's proposal and take the key. The house used to belong to Nancy's father. It's been empty since he passed, but Nancy goes there often to tidy up. Just make sure you don't mess up the place or you'll catch an earful from Nancy. Completely robbing them here. We're going to make some brass knuckles here now. That will improve my damage by quite a bit now. Let me save my game again. Now let's go to Pomegranate Alley. In front of you stands a lawyer's office with a net attached to the door. Need help? Call Saul. Is that a fucking Saul Goodman reference? The vending machine is powered off with a notice at the coin slot reading out of service. Hey pal. A scruffily dressed man approaches, wiping snot from his mouth as he starts a conversation. His body is frail, his eyes dull and lifeless, and he twitches uncontrollably from time to time. He has the unmistakable look of a drug addict. His voice is slurred, broken by the spasms that ripple through him. Harry from the hardware shop sent you here, right? Hesitant, you glance at the man, but eventually nod. That guy is here, hurry. The man gestures toward another man lying on the ground nearby. Just as you are clueless about what he means, you receive a call from Harrison. You found that guy, right? What should I do? It's simple, you see the ice pick in the package, right? Stick it in the back of the dead man's head. Wait, is he dead? Surprised, you ask the addict beside you while he wipes his nose and stares back at you blankly. Don't sweat the details. Every winter, plenty of these druggies freeze or overdose. No one cares. But isn't that illegal? Mutilating a corpse is a 200 fine in this town. I can handle that. Hurry up, his brains are turning to ice. You pull the ice pick device from its packaging and place the tip against the back of the corpse's head. After a long tense silence, with a subtle twist of your wrist, the sharp needle pierces the brain effortlessly. Once the needle is fully inserted, the machine in your hand hums to life. Slowly, the body at your feet begins to tremble as the motor kicks in. The shuzzing intensifies, quickening in the motor speed. Finally, the corpse thrashes violently, jerking like a fish on dry land. Experiencing this firsthand, you dare not move or release your grip on the device. Beside you, the addict watches, tapping a rhythm to the corpse's erratic movements as if observing some macabre performance. The motor sputters to a stop at last, and you feel a liquid filling the apparatus in your hand. A sense of constriction tightens in your chest as you realize what you've just extracted. In that moment, you are convinced that there's no earthly retribution could be more horrible than this ordeal. Silently, you pledge never to engage in such an act again. Extracting someone's brain and siphoning it into a syringe, even if it's just a corpse, that's outrageous. Calling the rising nausea, you dial Harrison's number again. Done already? Great, get back to me. You point at the dead man on the ground. Who is this guy and how did he die? He's my buddy. Overdosed. The man gestures to inject it into his neck. And you sold him? He looks at you confused as if to ask, why not? He then hoists the body onto his shoulder and leaves. Oh, that's actually really good. You check the door numbers on the block and finally pinpoint this place. You notice the address on the door beam, 440S, Pomegranate Alley. This is the apartment. This is weird. This is the end of the alley, but there's no mistake of 441F anywhere. Disappointment settles him as he glances back at the other unit. Just then, the door opens and an elderly black woman steps out. That black lady could she be connected to the victim somehow? Let me check this out. An elderly black woman stands next to the house, her eyes meet yours, her gaze steady and watchful. Hey there, mind doing me a small favor? Sure, what do you mean? As you can see, I'm not as spry as I used to be. My legs aren't what they used to be, and I'm stuck at home for a while now. Word is we're in for a heavy snowfall this winter. It's gonna be freezing, they say. But here's the thing, I've fallen behind on my gas and utility bills, and my account is running low on credit. Could you head to the town hall and settle those bills for me? I'll cover the expenses, of course. Sure, we'll accept your request here. I see, I'll handle it. Thank you so much. The elderly woman hands over the account details along with the service fee. We're running low on time, so we're gonna go do that really quickly and not get into the mansion part yet. This is a payment computer within the town hall. There doesn't seem to be anyone around. A notice on the side catches your attention. Person Dano accepts payments via cell phone. No wonder there's no one around. You enter the woman's account details into the computer to check the balance. The figures on the screen make you gasp. You must be seeing things unless the system is malfunctioning. The elderly woman's account holds a small fortune, more than enough to cover her expenses for many lifetimes. What's going on here? You dig into the transfer records and find that the money was wired 6 months ago by someone named Rebecca Creasy. Could she be a relative of the elderly woman? Alright, now we're going to return to the woman. Oh, you're back. Did the fees go up? You decide to inform the elderly woman about only a general overview of her account. Given her age, she could easily attract unnecessary attention if the huge sum of money in her account became known. Actually, your bill has been paid by someone else. The name's Rebecca Creasy. Does that ring a bell? What was that? Rebecca Creasy. Doesn't sound familiar, even though it matches my last name. But it reminds me of something else. Just a second. The woman walks into her room and soon returns with an empty box. I received a box from someone with the name Creasy a while back. It was empty, so I brushed it off as a prank. You can have it if you want, might be useful for you. Sure, thank you for that. You give the money back to the old woman while she passes you the box. I have no clue what I can use that box for. The door plate indicates Adolf's mansion. The gates of this imposing compound remain shut, devoid of any sound. Peering through the fence, you catch a glimpse of the opulence within. A tall, majestic house commands the area, enclosed by an expansive courtyard featuring a central swimming pool. Nobody's home? Alright, and that is where I'm gonna end it for this video. Next time we'll go in and finish up our business with Harrison. But until then, that's where I'm gonna end this video, Depersonalization. Sorry, I'm just running a blank on what to say, yeah, that's where we're gonna end this video, so I will see you next time when we continue with more depersonalization. Until then, Bye!